Marxism claims that unequal social relations have helped form ideological representations of society. One considerable limitation of Marxism is that it neglects other forms of domination, for example race and gender. The Glasgow University Media Group produced a series of seminal studies on television news bias during the 70s and early 80s. In what became known as the Bad News books, they aimed through empirical and semiotic analysis to expose the systematic class bias of television news coverage. The work of Raymond Williams remains one of the richest sources of cultural criticism available within British Marxism. He outlines 4 points which contest Marxist theory: authoritarian, paternal, commercial, and democratic. Any radical democratic politics would have to protect the free circulation of information from state surveillance. Paternal social structures are oriented around the desire to protect and guide rather than asserting the right to rule. Commercial cultural industries offer a certain amount of freedom in that a plurality of cultural forms can be bought and sold in the marketplace. Williams strongly argued that the new forms of communication could produce a democratic climate for serious engagement and the genuine attention to human needs. Williams' view can be divided into two key themes: the notion of base and superstructure, as it has to be traced through history and cannot be presumed, and the conception of ideology and hegemony, as he emphasizes that the modernist concern with feelings of alienation and exile should be reconnected to institutional dimensions. According to Althusser, ideology represents the imaginary relationship of individuals to their real conditions of existence. The rediscovery of ideology in media studies has reintroduced a notion of power and more critically addressed the construction of the real. When encoding and decoding media discourse, there are three main ways in which a symbolically coded text can be read. A dominant hegemonic reading interprets the text in terms of the preferred meaning suggested by the message. A negotiated code is where the intended message is subtly contested. An oppositional reading would run against the grain of the text, making few concessions to the perspective being offered. In summary, mass communication research should articulate a political economy of the cultural industries. For such an approach to be considered critical, and building on Williams' ideas, more research needs to be done into how the principles of democracy could be applied in global settings. The concepts of hegemony and ideology remain essential for an understanding of the information age.